Hey, I hope you're all having a good day. I've got another review for you guys. I know, I was also surprised I was able to get another one out so quickly. Mine's Beneath Us was a game that I was unfamiliar with before this video. I saw very little coverage about this game, so I thought I would check it out, share my thoughts on the game. So let's not waste any time with this review. Mine's Beneath Us released on PC and on the Switch back in 2024, and immediately upon becoming aware of this game, I knew it was one that I had to play. If you know me or have seen some of my other reviews, I love the cyberpunk and the futuristic based settings, so this game was right in my alley just based off of the setting alone. Just quickly, because I am still a very small content creator, please consider subscribing, I would very much appreciate it. Anyway, let me go through the story first. The game is set in the year 2049, and we follow a man called Jason. Well, before that, we start off the game as an old guy called Ivan, where we first get introduced to the main concept the game revolves around, a separate entity that I guess possesses the character, which is us. We are the puppet master of the character essentially. We end up being separated from Ivan from an anonymous identity, which ends up with us taking over Jason. Jason is looking for a job and his partner Fran is a higher up at the company he's applying for. The game heavily explores the dystopian nature of the future, the power and corruption of these large corporations, a loss of deception, the troubles of AI, questioning morals and ethics throughout your entire experience, and at the center of it all, navigating Jason's personal life with Fran. I thought the story was fantastic. It goes in so many different directions that it keeps the player constantly engaged. The story is broken up into chapters. I thought of them as like days, with each day being a chapter. It helps to keep a simple scale of the escalation of the action and story, while also avoiding the feeling of rushing the story or alternatively padding it out. One of my favorite parts, although it's quite small, was the end of the day debrief with yourself. It almost seemed like you're having a one-on-one conversation with Jason, which was a really nice blend of fourth wall breaking and immersion. I don't know how else I can explain it, but experiencing it was so uniquely enjoyable. To summarize the gameplay experience, there is a lot of reading, like so much reading. The game does have multiple choices for dialogue, and exploring everything along with interacting with everything opens up more dialogue options. There are different endings depending on what you choose to do. There are also some QTEs in the game as well, nothing too difficult to manage, although it does form the basis of the fighting system in the game, because nothing ever goes smoothly in the future. I thought the environmental design was great. There's quite a lot of vertical environments, which I think is really nice. I found it helped provide a scale for the size of the world, which could also be used to show the extent of the corruption and dystopian world present. The cyberpunk theme worked perfectly for the world here. There was a clear separation between the larger city and corporations and the rest of the world, which was also shown through the characters and their design. The art style was pretty great. It's refined and stands out on its own in a very unique way. It feels familiar, but at the same time you feel uncomfortable for some reason, like you can't be adjusted to it when there's so much going on. For a game that has faceless characters and NPCs, each character stood out. They had a unique personality along with their own fears, motivations, and reasoning behind their beliefs. The mix between 2D characters and 3D environments made for a really unique experience, making it almost more cinematic, which I think is certainly a good descriptor for this game. Originally, when I write my scripts, I tried to have the customization and accessibility as two separate talking points, but the game doesn't really do either here, so I can just combine the two of them into one point. There isn't any customization in terms of the design and function of these characters. It's not really required. With regards to accessibility, also not much. It does support controllers, and obviously the settings can be quite adaptive, along with the game being available in several languages, and that's pretty much it. The audio design was fine, although I did find the louder noises to be a little harsh, but outside of that I thought it was balanced quite well. I thought the music in the game is quite good when it creeps in, although sometimes the lack of it and the ambience of some areas add to it very well. There wasn't any voice acting, unless I consider a single cough as voice acting, then it's fine. Honestly, I only have one real issue, which is just the sound balancing mentioned earlier. I think that was the only standout for me, but outside of that, the game only relies on autosaves, so if you need to stop, you either have to play until the next autosave or replay some parts, which isn't a big issue in itself, but having that option would have been appreciated. There are a few typos towards the end of the game, which is obviously due to the localization, but that doesn't impact the overall experience at all, so I looked past it as it doesn't really change anything. So overall, I think the game is fantastic and definitely underrated. There have been so many games recently where I've just gone, how have I not played it before? And this was definitely one of them. I just think there was so much attention to detail that went into making it such an immersive and enjoyable experience. The work experience felt so real, especially the rushed nature of being a new hire. I thought that was executed really well. I would absolutely recommend playing this game if you're looking for a smaller game to experience. The narrative is great, and I know I didn't mention it earlier, but this is the first game from developer Barebones studios, and I was thoroughly surprised when learning that. The game has quite a bit of charm about it, so I never would have assumed it was their first game. I do think some of the plot points do get obscured a bit when the game moves forward, particularly the workplace AI stuff, but outside of that I think it's a solid story that is self-contained and is quite easy to follow and understand. I will definitely be replaying this game in my own time just to fully explore all options and experience all different endings, because a game that's this heavy and engaging while also being short is quite a unique thing. Oh, seeing as I've forgotten to mention it in previous videos recently, the game took just under 11 hours for my first playthrough. I'm sure there were some things that will change this time, such as dialogue options, all the more reason to replay the game in my eyes. That's pretty much my entire review. As always, thank you for making it to the end of the video. It means so much to me that you've made it this far. If you'd like, consider liking the video. You don't have to, but it would help me out. Hope you've all had a good day and enjoyed the video, and hopefully I'll see you for the next one.